call this meeting of the County Commissioners to order. Please join us with the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everybody, and it's good to see you. We'll begin today with the approval of our minutes of our previous meeting.
Second that.
A motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the minutes of the August 19 meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. First up is for the 911 department is Mr. Jeff Griffin.
You emailed first.
What's that?
You emailed first.
Apparently so. I got to talk to somebody about seeing how that works out, and I noticed that my name was highlighted too. So, okay. So everything seems to be going pretty well at the center. Got things working well. The team is pulled together, and everybody's pulling together and doing a lot of stuff, teaching me so I can learn some of the things that I did not know, and so it's coming together very good. We've implemented quite a few new processes and procedures to track our stuff better, what we're doing better. One of those things is recalling warrants. They do that quite often, so we have really no way of tracking that and verifying that information is getting done. So we implemented a new way using the Flex software to get that accomplished. That way we can go back and we can track and we can make sure that those are getting done, because obviously if somebody goes to jail because we didn't pull a warrant, then there's a problem. So we worked on that as well. Sent off a packet just Friday to get 5 more operators IDAC certified, including myself. Sent that off to the state, and I think Dale mentioned that he moves on county time, so I think the state moves on state time. So I don't know when we're going to get that taken care of, but those are sent off, and that'll help our pool up to having our operators in there. So they'll be IDAC certified, so they can obviously sit in the chair. We implemented a new sign-in process. We also implemented a tracking system in the software so that we can track when the operators are in their seats. As far as we're putting them on duty and off duty just like the officers and the deputies are. That way we can go back and I have a check and balance system to see when they were there and when they were not. So also with the electronic payroll, that's going a whole lot better. I did get my second payroll done, which Haley helped me out a lot on that, so I want to give her a shout out. But we got that taken care of in the electronic stuff. And Mike King come over and got us set up so we can get that done electronically. So the payroll sheets are going to look a lot better than what they have now. So we'll be able to do that. Let's see, we're working on training plans. I wanted to standardize training. That's one of the things that I wanted to work on, because I think that's kind of a deficiency, because some of them knew a little bit about Flex, and some of them knew a lot about Flex, and some of them knew a lot about IDACs and so on. So we're initializing a standardized training session. We're also including a evaluation form that we can go in and evaluate the operators before they get ready to sit in the chair, to make sure that we're catching all the points that they need to be proficient on, using the phone, answering the 911 line and so on. So working on that as well. Let's see, Power Phone, we're getting all those Power Phone trainings up to date, making sure that they're getting their 40 hours of that to be able to do that. On September 11th, we're having a Flex mapping seminar, training session. Actually, we're just train a trainer. We're going to have that here. Wade Walling has actually let us use the EMA training room. We're going to switch to a addressing system in the Flex software that's going to allow the operators to select the address from a list rather than having to type that in. What that's going to do is that's going to give us a lot more consistent results as far as getting information out. Plus, it's going to be able to map 100 times better. So they'll be able to select from that. They'll be able to pull up from a list. They'll also be able to use commonplaces. So, we're being robbed at Speedway. They can type in Speedway, it'll pull up the list of all the speedways, and then they can select which speedway it is. So that will make that more convenient, and it'll also make it more consistent for them as well. CPR training, we're still working on that. I did talk to Nate today. We've got all of the operators to be certified in CPR. He's working on getting that training set up for us, Nate Stevens. And I do have $942 in my training budget, so I can pay him out of that. And it's like only $5 a person to pay for the card, so we're getting that worked as well. Let's see. I've got information from Terry Cavins, got set up with that. I'm going to start doing my claims online, being able to submit those online versus the paper to do those. Another thing that we did was we now have our EMD screens integrated with the Flex software, which means that the questions that the EMD software asks the operator to ask the person that's calling are now right in our Flex software, so that if they have a difficulty breathing, for example, they'll be able to go right in the Flex software and answer those questions as they're responding, and that way the first responders are going to get a lot better information. So we've got most of the medical calls done. I'm going to start reaching out to the fire department and the EMS and the law side to try to get those questions in there as well. So again, standardized questions so they know what questions to ask. Obviously our senior operators don't really need that, but we've got some new operators that's going to help them out a lot, and it's consistency. I like consistency, so that's going to help that. Let's see, what else? Worked with Josh Jarbo. He's getting me my toilet paper and paper towels now. So he's going to have that delivered so he can save us a trip down there. He put in some new dispensers for me, paper towel dispensers, and he also put in some hand sanitizer dispensers, and he had a couple extra lockers sitting around, so he brought those gym style lockers over so I could get the people to store their stuff while they're working. So that was nice of him as well. Started working on the 911 director job descriptions for my input from that. Hopefully I'll have that done by next meeting, so hopefully we can start advertising by next meeting, or however, when you guys ever want to do that. And then some of the statistics that I sent you, just a few brief statistics that I wanted to talk about. Monday, Thursday, and Friday are our busiest days, as last month they were anyway. 256 calls on Monday, 215 on Thursday, and 219 on Friday. Of course, those are all just averages for that. Our month-to-date calls are about the same as they were last month. We're about 15 ahead of last month, actually. Year-to-date, we're doing well. I guess doing well. I guess you'd call it doing well, but we are equal to 2024, and we're below the 2023 stats. And then something that I didn't get till just this morning, so it's not included in your packets, but we had 890 911 calls last month. That averages out to about 28.7 per day. And I myself didn't realize how much that 911 phone rings until I've set a couple shifts in there, and it rings off the wall. So and they're all good calls. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it rings constantly. So we've got those going as well. Okay. Again, I want to thank all the operators that are stepping up and helping out, helping us get through this. Questions?
I'm good.
Okay.
You think you'll have that job description ready in a couple of weeks?
I hope to have done by the next. As far as my input, I'll have it done by the next meeting.
Okay.
So that way we can advertise, and I think James working on some stuff for it too. So.
All right.
But there's just a few things that I'd like to see added to it, and then I've also had my operators submit a couple things that they'd like to see added to it as well.
Okay, well, we'll review that additional information as soon as we get it.
Okay. All right. As soon as I get it done, you'll have it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
EMA Director Wade Balling. Wade, do you have anything today?
I do. I have a couple things. The first thing is my truck's been out of service, so I ordered a part from Amazon for it.
the battery keeps dying, so I ordered a solar maintainer to put on it so it keeps that battery charged all the time. With that being said, I got a call to help Carnesville Fire over the weekend. I believe it was Friday night or early Saturday morning with the house fire. I couldn't send anybody, so that leads me to my second part. I've got 5 of my guys' waivers signed, and I'd like to get them going. I will have the rest of them signed tonight during our EMA team meeting. So I'd like to get our volunteers back going. That way, if something happens, I can't make it, we have other people we can call on to help.
Yeah, I think that's basically what we were waiting on all along.
Yeah.
The only other thing we discussed was that we'd like to see your volunteer list and approve them before we just have your volunteers out.
Okay.
That was something we had discussed also.
So
We
I
hadn't
did send
seen-
that list to Haley, because she's the one that requested it on your behalf. So you
You
should.
have your 5.
Yeah,
that
I
you-
have the 5 right here, so, which I was gonna give you guys.
Yeah, if you want to hand those over right
Yeah.
now, that's fine.
So, and then I'll have the others, I can email them to you if that makes it easier. I can do that, I'll have that to you by 9 a.m. tomorrow, so if I don't email it this evening still yet, so. So each one of the volunteers have also had their background checks done. They've got clean records, so. And then they've all had training. I'm actually starting September 9th. I'll be in training for 2 weeks. It'll be in my office, but I really won't be available because I have to be on that e-learning. But for the next 2 weeks, I'm taking a CERT, train the trainer course, so I can teach my volunteers CERT, which is a community response. So, all things in time.
Do you want to authorize the use of wage volunteers again, the ones that have signed the liability waivers?
Thinking how I want to say something. Yeah. I know it's a good thing, but I would like to table it till our next meeting, just to verify a few things I want to check into. That I've done some checking, I got a few things I want to look at.
Yeah.
But I'd like to table it till our next meeting and have a yes or no answer, probably a yes, but I'd like to table it till the next meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay. We've got a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to table the approval of the listed volunteers until the next meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
So is there anything I can help you with, information you need?
I don't think so.
Yeah, not right now, but if I do, I'll call you.
Okay, anything else, Wade?
That's it.
Okay. For the highway department, Chris Gettinger. We paving today?
Well, I haven't been up there, but I think they better be. They said they will.
They are, the road's closed and the paper's gone.
I just say, I can confirm that.
Yeah, you should
My
know about it,
idea,
shouldn't you?
yes.
Yeah. So we're finally, obviously, we're finally getting there on that. And here it is, 1st of September, and they were supposed to be here 1st of June, so. We did our part, we put our cans in and took the beating all summer over the rough roads, but they're getting there, so. West, I think, there. Feller.
Yeah.
Okay. If I knew you'd found somebody, I think I forgot it.
I don't think you knew it. I talked to you there, what, a week or so ago about it, but we actually had another application in there that we thought was
Okay.
pretty good, so.
Motion to approve the 144 request for the highway, or Cody Blakely.
Second. Second.
Got a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the 144 request for the highway department for the hire of a heavy equipment operator, Cody Blakely. Any further question?
Get the CDL.
Hey, he had worked with 38 Square out here, so he had some underground boring experience and some things like that that made that look pretty good, so we'll give that a shot. So,
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Gail. Will he be starting right away?
I think he'll be here tomorrow. He's got to see Haley at 9 o'clock in the morning, I think, and so I think we're all lined up to go as soon as that happens.
Okay, good.
So, yeah. And only other thing I have been looking at that bioletics thing. I've talked to the other county supervisors, Union County and Franklin County, and they have good things to say, so we'll get to that here shortly. Looks like that might be the way to go. It'll do several things that I wasn't really aware of here for a while, so with other conversations, I've come around on it some, so. But we'll be working on that here next few meetings. So,
Yeah, we've got a ways to go on that. Anything else from your end?
that's all I got tonight.
Okay. Now, you and I looked at a driveway down on Wellsview Road
Yes,
the other day, and I hadn't had a chance to
talk to
talk to
him.
the county attorney about this, so we might as well bring it up.
Okay.
We have someone has poured a new concrete driveway on one of our county roads, and they actually cut out a small section of the pavement and extended the concrete out into the road just a little bit, but it's high enough that one of our snow plows could easily catch it and tear up equipment. Now, Chris has talked to the property owner about this, and they seem to be uncooperative. So, as the caretakers of the road, what would you recommend our options be on that? I really don't want to go down there and jackhammer his driveway up. That-
Is this a new cut in, or is this an
Yes,
existing cut in and they changed it?
There was a house there years ago, they tore it down, it's been an empty lot basically for years.
But there was a driveway to the
There was a
road?
driveway, there was just gravel, I believe.
Okay, so they just
He's
modified
building a
it.
house, the house probably maybe half done, I'm not sure. But they went ahead and put the driveway in, and what they did, we just had paved that road, before I came last summer, that road got paved. Well, I drove past it several times because I live up that way. It's not quite 2 inches above the road. It's out, and they crawled into the pavement to bring the driveway out, which looks nice. And if they would have tapered it down, I would have never said a word about it. But I stopped there one day to have a conversation with him about it, and my fear is he's building that house to sell, which I didn't know that till I talked to him, but I did learn that. And if he gets that sold to someone else, some couple, and we come through there, well, there's two things, one of two things. We're either gonna wreck his new concrete or we're wrecking the plow. One or the other on the truck that's moving snow off of there. So I'm like, we gotta do something here. And You know, if we wreck their new concrete, whoever buys this house isn't gonna understand that, hey, why did that happen? They're gonna say, well, the county tore up my drive, you know? But it's obvious, it's been, I got pictures, I can.
So is this like a developer, or is this just a,
No, I don't think so. I think it's just somebody decided to put a house there.
and you told him about the concrete issue and he said
Yeah,
what?
I-
He said, I don't care, you can't do anything about it?
Essentially, I got absolutely nowhere with the idea. And I stopped unannounced, but I just stopped there one day to have a conversation. And basically, if we could have tapered that off there at the end so it wouldn't have caught nothing, I was gonna let it go. But I didn't even get that accomplished, so I said, well, I guess we'll have to get something else done. So, you know, I haven't been back. I feel like I tried to have the conversation, but it just didn't work, so.
Well, I know we have 3 very nice, kind, considerate, but their constituent commissioners, but they're not gonna like my advice, but my advice is, we send 1 letter from the county, they'll get into a big match. If they don't have a way they wanna remedy it, then we go and remedy it. I'm of the opinion that the idea that, I'm not even talking about that, but 2 inches, to me, almost 2 inches is a big deal. I mean, what's the
You drive by
liability of
every day.
cars? I mean, if you're driving along that and your car hits it, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, well, I worry about the snowplow. You know, that snowplow's big and heavy. Something bad's gonna happen there.
Yeah, I mean, if
Either
it hits
it's our
it,
truck or their concrete, one or the other. There ain't no.
it needs
middle ground
remedied
to it.
before the winter. And it's not something you have to file a lawsuit about to get what you wanna do. You can go and just completely do it. Just like you would any work in any right of way we have.
Well, the concrete itself could be ground down to be even with the pavement, and that would eliminate any danger involved. But whose responsibility should that be? Ours or the property owners?
Well, of course it's theirs, in my opinion. Of
Yeah.
course, 100%, absolutely.
So,
but-
and if we wind up having to hire someone to go down there and grind it against their will, then, you know, we would have to send them a bill for having the work done, and I'm looking for
I mean,
the best remedy that we can legally.
I tend to work better with people that want to work with the community. And when they don't want to have to try to make offers, they just say, I did it, I don't care what you say. My advice usually as legal counsel is to spend less money. We can do what you said, grind it down, charge them, they not pay, me sue them, so you pay me lawyer fees, you pay them their fees, and then hope someday you get it, right? And you're definitely not gonna get the money before you do the work, obviously, right? My assumption is it'd be cheaper to jackhammer it out and just pave over it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if we send them a letter and they don't respond and even try to enter into some type of negotiation remedy the situation, you have a burden to all constituents. And to me, that is the most financially reason. And we'd still go after it for the cost, but that cost would be a lot less. What you're describing to me just seems so common sense that this isn't like one of those errors where somebody did something that you could, like most people would be like, well, I wouldn't even have thought you had to do that. I mean, most people know you can't concrete your driveway into the road, like past the road, most people know that. And most people certainly would understand it's a problem if I'm going to concrete it 1.5 inches, 2 inches higher than the roadway.
Yeah. Well, in this case, would you recommend, or would you be a willing participant in
Of course.
sending an official letter on behalf of the county, spelling out all the reasons why that this
Of
needs
course.
to be remedied, and then give them some sort of window of opportunity to respond or do something about it, and then if we needed to take further action, we would have time to do that before.
What does Jane have does she have the address and the person's information?
No, Jane doesn't, but I've got it in an email in there.
And so then just tell me how much time you want to give. Again, I would strongly recommend we just go and do it when time comes. So timing wise, you can give them until whenever, but just as long as he has enough time to get done. I mean, we don't need to go and get a court order to be able to do this work.
Yeah.
So I don't know, generally I give people 10 days after, I send a letter. If you want to give them, 30 days, I think that still gives him plenty of time. But if they don't call Jane or my office or they don't come to a meeting. And I think after 30 days, my advice to you would be just to do whatever is the most feasible, economically feasible for the county, most economically efficient.
What do you two think?
I'm gonna let Jeff send a letter and give them 30 days and go from that.
And I'm getting a little bit lawyerese here. How far out into the road is this?
Oh, they cut it 6 inches anyway, at least from the very edge of the
So
road.
I'd be being dramatic if I'm talking about, there's, we have certain roads and we have the type of equipment that travels on those roads and they have to be, is this, I'm guessing this is not to that level.
It would be different to me if it was an old road that maybe someday we was gonna put a layer on and they would allowed for that. I could almost understood that, but that was just paved last year on that grant.
Yeah.
So we're not coming back to that road anytime soon.
But we don't have any liability wise as far as the rest of the roadways able to handle this type of equipment and that patch wouldn't, this doesn't seem
Well,
like that big.
yeah, I don't know how thick their concrete is, but I would assume
It's not gonna be a problem.
they would have drove, yeah, it would be all right as far as that goes. It's the height to me that's the problem.
I'm not an engineer, but so these questions might be silly, but I just want to make sure I know
Yeah,
that's not an issue.
yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to tell how thick the concrete is, but it's surely 4 inches or better, I would think, here at the end, it should be.
What about the safety? Like, I mean.
Well, so far, if you drive by there, he's got cones clear at the edge of that, so nobody's
So
really.
you have to go out of there, you have to get out
Well,
of
you don't really have to go out, but you don't want to crowd it any, or you'd be to the cones. And-
So 2 vehicles can still pass through there?
Yeah,
and you
the
don't have
road
to-
is, it's even on that, I've sent Dale pictures, I think the
Okay.
road is approximately 18 foot wide right there. The right of way, when I looked it up, I think it's 33 foot wide, so we can do whatever we have to do in that deal to make this right. It's just, I don't know that the guy hired the job out, so I'm not saying he did it on purpose, I don't have any idea. But
It just seems
the
like
end result
something
is-
that a contractor would have even had to have been told to do it that way.
Yeah, I question the same, I might have made that same statement, that almost looks like that was intentionally done that way, but I don't wanna say that, that's not what I'm saying, or maybe the crew did it, it was already done before they realized it was high, but I don't know how you wouldn't have known it was high. They had to put a board across that end to keep it straight, when they poured that cement up against, over the pavement, or else it would have just fell down and angled to it, so, yeah, I mean,
Did they have to cut out some of our road?
they cut out the pavement, yeah, 6 inches, I think. Yeah, they're into
Wow.
approximately 6 inches of the pavement.
This isn't my world. You got a lot more knowledge, Dale. Does that seem like most contractors would know not to be
Yeah,
cutting out?
they should know not to cut into it.
So I stopped one day trying to be a
Right.
decent guy and say, hey, just have a talk about it and see if we could get it ground
Well,
to
let's
an
get the
angle there or
cheapest thing
something.
for
and
everybody, and yeah.
Maybe I caught the guy at a bad day. I don't know him personally. I mean, maybe. he's had a
Lawyer
bad
letters
day,
tend to have a little bit more impact, so
But I got absolutely nowhere. And
I'll send it certified and I'll send it regular US mail. And the reason I do that is in case they decide not to sign for it or they're never there to sign for it. If the regular mail doesn't get returned, at least I have some thoughts that they're getting a letter.
Just as soon as we're done in here today, I'll forward that.
What I'm probably gonna do is, if Jane has time, I might just sit in Jane's office and we might just type up a letter, that way I don't forget. Jane's a phenomenal letter writer.
I didn't know she was your secretary now.
Huh? She says board secretary, Dale, and she loves me.
Okay. Anything else, Chris?
I don't know.
All right, we'll wrap this up.
So do we have to make this official then with what we're doing?
And could you give me a little guidance? Like what, as far, I don't wanna give them too long of a time or too short of a time, and you guys.
How long ago did you
frustrated
talk
with
to the guy?
I think 30 days. That gives you a
I feel like
2
sooner.
weeks at most, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been after the last commission meeting, come look here. I didn't make it to the last one,
I like your
Yeah.
10-day idea,
I
but this
took Dale
bothers
back.
me.
but Dale and I was out the other day looking at some stuff, and I took him past it, and he seemed, he knows what we're, and I talked to him a few days before that, so.
Yeah.
I'll go with whatever,
It's
I
been
think 30
10
days is
at least
fine.
Anyway.
10 days is better. If it were me, I would do it sooner, but whatever you guys decide, whatever you think.
I think you gotta give him time to find somebody to do the work.
Yeah.
My letter won't say have it remedied or else we're
Okay.
coming. My letter will say you
Just
have
get on
so
it.
many days to get in contact with us.
Okay, there we go.
You know what I mean? To get, I'm not, and if they're listening or they hear this,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect them to have it resolved by then, but a lot of times if they get a hold of you and say, okay, we see the issue, we're gonna resolve it, then you start worrying less. It might make sense to use the next deadline to get in contact with us by our first meeting in October.
That's fine with me.
I think that's good.
All right, I don't care one way or the other. If it were not for the snowplow issue, I wouldn't even pay no attention.
I don't think I'd have had a word to say about it. I mean, I wouldn't really liked it, the way they come out there, but it's the height above the road
You hit it
that's
right.
gonna be a
You
problem.
bend the
I
frame
was
of the
gonna
truck.
say, it's best, it's,
Yeah, but, and I guess that's where I would say liability wise,
Yeah.
I understand worrying about the own equipment, but what about other people's
people,
equipment?
no, my
Yeah,
car,
Okay.
the Ren, right in there,
Guy
right?
on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could have
Yeah.
potential,
On the edge.
and then we could have another issue if
When
somebody
a
gets
semi
hurt.
meets another semi right there at that curve here this fall, that's probably what happened.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a little bit more serious.
Why don't you make a motion?
I'll move a motion that Jeff sends a letter to make contact by the next commissioners meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy. Instruct you to send a letter,
You got it?
and you want us to hear back from the property owner by the next meeting, or
That's,
how do you,
Not, first meeting in October, right?
okay,
yep,
first meeting in October?
right.
Okay, first meeting in October.
So right at almost 30 days.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. That's official. You'll get the mailing address and everything right after this meeting. Thanks, Chris.
Haley's over there to do these 144s if you're ready for them.
Yeah, I'd penciled you in here, but we have also have a 144 request from the auditor's office. As you know, Stephanie's leaving, and Jane has had an open part-time spot there,
Well, I've got two, they're full-time openings,
both full-time, okay.
which Haley's here if you want to make her come to the podium.
Yeah, let Haley do it.
Hey, yeah, that's a good idea.
Hi, guys.
Hey, okay, we have Haley Wesson, the deputy auditor, and you have a 144 request?
Yes, for Jennifer Matthews and Riley Wicker.
Okay.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the 144 request for the auditor's office for the hire of Jennifer Matthews and Ryland Whipper. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Is
Thanks.
there anything else, Haley?
Nope.
Okay. Sheriff Jones, do you have anything today?
Alright, I sent you guys the 3 quotes that I had for the gate out back, and then hopefully you still got the quote from Friendly Contracting, I think. So, 2 of these just came in today. One guy had told me a price, but he never sent me a quote, the Higher Standards Fabrication, and he sent it this morning, and then the one from Integrity Property Solutions, that came in today. But they're all about the same. I mean, it's all what we need. "10-foot tall fence. A couple of them say if we want to upgrade to aluminum, it's another $4,500, I think. wanted to see what you guys thought about it.
Okay.
Are they all doing the same bit, same
Yeah.
thing?
Yep.
And none of them very cheap.
Nope,
No, we're in the wrong business.
that's right.
Fencing businesses. Looks like the
Does it
cheapest one though is the higher standards fabrication,
Mhm.
27,500.
Is this including the electric?
No,
No,
yeah, none of them include electric.
so this will just be manual for now?
Yeah, we'll figure out the electric, but
Mhm.
Jarbo may electrocute himself over there trying to do that, but hey, it is what it is.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Is the,
Friendly Contracting may have had electric in there, I haven't seen that quote for a while, but, and the quote, some of these quotes are pretty old, but we contacted the older quotes, and the one from Ohlers and the one from Chad, and he said they're still good.
there is language in this bid
Yeah.
from Friendly Contracting about the wiring and controls. If that is equipment that comes with the gate when it's purchased, that could be explained why this bid is a little bit higher than the other one.
Yeah, the three that I sent you today, none of those include electric, and I thought one of Chad's did include electric.
Okay. Let's say we install a gate without the openers and all the electrical work. That will eventually have to be done then, right?
And again, I don't know if that's something Jarbo can do or something we can contract
So
out,
have
but
you
Securitas is all, they're supposed to be, if they ever come down to show us how to work the new building, they're going to have to integrate it into our door system.
So that'd be more work on that side anyway. Yeah. So the best bid then is still the Stanley, higher standard, I mean, fabrication?
Yeah, it's the best price. Now, again, that's not electric. I think Dell has the one from Friendly Contracting that
Yeah. it has
includes
that.
some electrical work.
It has control wiring. This looks like what he put on there, control wiring. In the control room, so.
Now this one from Friendly states an aluminum cantilever gate with 2-inch mesh gray slats with automatic opener, including power, including power to unit from Sheriff's Department building and control wiring to control center in the Sheriff's Department. So that sounds like,
I think it's about all of it done.
huh?
That sounds like that would get just about everything we need done except for integrating it into our door system.
Now, which quote was you talking about, an aluminum upgrade?
The one from Ohlers and the one from Integrity both say from to an aluminum gate from a steel gate, you're going to add $4,500.
Okay,
Ohlers is $4,000 additional.
had 4,000 for an aluminum gate. And one from Integrity, they said add 4,500
Yeah.
for an aluminum gate. So, since aluminum gate is what Friendly actually quoted, looks to me like they're so daggone close. I'd say if you add in the aluminum gate and the opening controls and everything, Friendly's probably your best bid. If you add all that stuff into these others,
But are these already quoting on them? Because it doesn't say.
no, this one says, well, it's older that says, add $4,000 to the price for an aluminum roller gate instead of steel.
Do you know if that higher standard fabrication was quoting aluminum?
I do not. Just text him. Let's see if he's a quick texter.
And have you talked to Josh to know that he's thinking about the other? You guys already talked, so he knows you're thinking he might do that.
Josh likes all the projects we do.
Yeah, he does.
Its higher standards doesn't say whether it's a steel or aluminum gate they're quoting. The other two say that is a bigger option. Now the question is, the motors and controls and everything that goes with the automatic opening equipment, I don't know what kind of value to put on that stuff, but one could assume if there was a $4,000 or $4,500 difference between the steel and aluminum gate, probably going to be very near that same amount for the automatic controls. Which, just doing some rough estimates, would make the Friendly Contracting bid the best bid.
I agree.
And we can put this off and let you worry about it some more for a couple of weeks if you like.
County business.
Yeah.
I'd like to table it till our next meeting.
Okay.
I'll second.
We've got three different footages, 17, 20, 30. So you've got three different gates, three different sizes.
Yeah, that's true.
And we need to know on this guy if he's doing aluminum or not, the higher standard fabrication guy. So we know if that bid was, what the other two, three.
Here he's quoting 32.
Yeah.
So we got basically four different gates. I'm going to table it till our next meeting.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion by Dale, second by Tracy. Table decision on these gates till our next meeting.
I don't think we're gonna be opening it up anytime soon, so we
And,
got time.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Gene.
So you want me, I'll get with, higher standards, find out what he's quoting,
Yep.
find out why everybody has measured, apparently tape measures
Yeah.
aren't all universal because everybody's got different sizes, so.
We need clarification on the electronic controls. Too.
And I think all of them included that, but, can you email me a copy of Chad's two quotes that he
Yes.
gave?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay. County Surveyor Bill Mackey. Well, since you've got Bruce with you, would you like to take up the matter of the thing we talked about the other day?
Pager ratings and the asset management plan and all that.
Yeah,
We had submitted an agreement for this year's pager ratings that were gonna be done this fall. And part of our agreement also includes, so we do the asset management plan that we submit to NDOT that's created with the help of our pager ratings. We submit that every year before December 1st. The asset management plan has to be in the hands of LTAP by then, or the county will be disqualified from applying for NCCMG funding in 2026. We had a meeting on Thursday with Bill and Dale and just discussion about the matter. And we are currently running. It's already September. This has to be, the county needs to be rated and submitted before the end of November. So we're under the understanding that we're looking at maybe some alternatives, which is fine. But I think all of us agree that to get the work done and submitted to LTAP to keep it qualified, we would need to go ahead and do the work this time around, sign an agreement. And then in the future, if you're ready to move on to a different technology or whatever you want to do, God bless you, you can do whatever you want. But I think you're stuck. I think you're stuck with us right now, so that we can get the work done for you and keep it going.
And you said this is a 2-year contract for the money, right? Is that what you told us?
Yes.
Now that money is for 2 years, not one.
So our 29,000 is for 2 years. So this year we'll do a full rating and we'll do everything for your asset management plan and submit it. Next year you don't need a full rating. Full ratings are only every 2 years. What we'll do is I'll contact Chris. Chris, nice to meet you. I'll contact Chris and he'll give us an update of what work was going to be done next year. And we'll update our ratings per that update, and then we'll submit an asset management plan in 2026. And that's all part of the agreement. And then this way, again, if you're looking to go to a different alternative, it at least gives you some time to take a good look at it. And I don't even believe you guys even have an agreement from the other company. So you just need to get us started so we can get going.
What was that deadline that we had originally on that contract to make our decision? The one you brought, Bill, to our last meeting?
What was the timeline?
He had a deadline date for us to make a decision. I was just trying to remember what that date was. You don't remember? I just haven't got to go over anything. To really know.
It's the same thing that we've done for the county for years.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing's
I know.
changed. It's
I
the
know
same
that.
agreement.
I meant not to compare it to something else. I was just thinking if we had time, if we could table it and at our next meeting have the decision, that might be best for me. I'm just speaking for myself to really know that this would be the best decision to make today. I don't know, I know you were in the meeting, so you heard from him, so
yeah.
I just haven't investigated enough to really know, so how to go on that.
We met the other day, Bill and I and Bruce, and you was going to be here, but something happened. You wasn't able to be here. When Bill was here a couple of weeks ago, he had the contract with Butler Fairman, and we told him we had intended on going with this newer technology. And when we talked about that earlier, we didn't know that the state of Indiana was going to bump up the deadline for our 2026 CCMG projects, and all that is due next month.
Next month, October
Yeah,
or
that's-
November?
That's what Joe Lisa said.
CCMG projects are due toward the end of October,
Yeah.
is when they're gonna have to be submitted.
And Bill, do you want to share what the lady in the state has told
She just
you?
said at a meeting that don't come in at the last minute, get them in as soon as possible. She may not even look at the last 3 or 4 days of submissions. She'll have enough for $100 million. They're going from 300 million to 100 million, the whole state. So she'll have probably enough projects already picked out probably by the time they get all the applications. So, yeah, so it probably needs to be done by the middle of October, to be safe.
Yeah. One more thing, LTAP now requires that anybody that does any PASER ratings for any municipality or county has to be registered, or I'm sorry, certified with LTAP to do those ratings. I am currently, I just got certified a couple weeks ago, it's a brand new program. So I'm able to come in as a certified rater and do the work for you. I don't think there's too many people who are certified right now that just started.
Yeah. Well,
They're gonna do audits of everyone's PASERs as much as they can in the off time. So I'm thinking maybe late, maybe in the winter, early spring, that they'll try to get out and they'll come out and they're gonna look at 10 segments to make sure that everybody's PASER ratings are legitimate and they're not rating roads higher just to make their average road rating higher.
okay. And we had Derek brought in the representative from Violytics, and it's a very impressive service for sure. We simply don't have enough time to make an agreement with Violytics and get the system in place in order to meet the deadlines that are now on top of us.
But are we agreeing to 2 years? Or is there a 1-year agreement, or we have to do 2 years?
Oh, we talking about the Violytics?
With the,
With us?
yes,
Oh,
for you to do our PACER, and you said it's a 2-year agreement?
90% of the work will be done this year. So you're only looking at us updating ratings and doing an asset management plan for you next year. It's a very, very small part of the agreement.
Yeah, I don't know. Derek, how long would it take for us to get Vitalytics in place and up and running and get comfortable with it, where we knew what we was doing with it?
I'm not the sales rep for Violytics, Laser Rush is, but I can tell you that Wayne County just signed their agreement about 2 weeks ago, and they got it installed today to do their ratings, and it's however fast they can. You guys can drive the road, we'll have your ratings, and then we just create the spreadsheet. Now for the community crossings, you're gonna go off of the PASER rating that you currently have, because you don't have to submit this new one until December 1st. So your community crossing, if you don't get it submitted by December 1st, you can't do it for next year, not for this current application that's going through. That should already have, that you're using the current ratings that you currently have. So there's actually 2 separate things that he's talking about with that.
Yes.
So I agree with him that yes, you gotta have the current, you have to have a PASER rating, you have to have that done by December 1st. The community crossing grant is from about October 1st to the end of October to get it in for this year's funding sources so that you can pave next year.
Yeah, those are for 2026 projects.
Correct.
So your table 1 shows 2 years of ratings. It'll show last year's ratings and this year's ratings. And that's what they require. So this year's ratings would have to be updated to submit the table 1. That's the hook.
Okay, this year's rating would have to be updated to make application in October for the 2026 projects. Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is,
This should be your second year, that's all it is an update.
it's not my second year, it's my first year of a 2-year agreement. It's not an update.
Okay. So this will be the big report that you have to turn in.
Right, and that's where
That's
I'm
not due till December 1st, but your application is due October, so you can't submit that and have that at the same time unless.
It's a competition.
It is. Oh,
This is truly a competition. And if you don't, if they go look at your table 1 and see that it hasn't been updated, they're looking for anything. We've gone back in a time machine. We're back to when we first started doing CCMG projects, where they'd kick you out for anything, just so they could get you out of the pool and not have to worry about making a decision. Well, here, we're gonna kick people out for this reason.
Your
Because
88
they're-
Title VI
And
is
yeah,
important.
ADA Title VI is a big one too.
Yeah,
I don't know where Wade is on that, but I informed you 3 or 4 months ago what needs to be done. I think you said he's been contacting you with some of it, right? About-
Right.
That's another one they'll kick you out on, your ADAs.
have you guys received email about the ADA updates? I know some communities that have, that they've sent.
Whether they're compliant or not, you mean?
Well, their last ADA, one was a small municipality, their last ADA plan was from 2013. So, yeah, that's definitely, gonna make the bells and whistles go off. I don't know when's the last time your plan was updated, but
And if you don't have an updated ADA Title VI, you probably would not be qualified to have even if you submit it, they'll probably kick it out. Just that line.
we've helped a few of our clients with those to get things updated so that they would qualify. If we need to do some assistance to that, we'd be more than glad to make sure that you're all updated and ready to go for October.
Well, I know that Wade.
That's something that I can do personally through the company for you.
Okay. Well, long story short, we got $1 million at risk for next year. And I don't want to miss that opportunity because we hadn't changed technology yet. You know, there's still time to do that, and I want to do it, but it may take a little longer, and I don't know if Chris is ready to take that project on yet or not.
Excuse me. I got whatever's going around at the high school, because my boy's out there now. Anyhow, just a question, so I understand this better. I was under the impression, I guess initially, that this was costing the almost 30,000 annually. Is that?
No,
that
it's
is a-
29,000
That
for
is
2
a
years.
2-year deal, so basically 15,000 a year versus what we thought was. So that's gonna have some bearing on what the other deal cost, I would think. Because I think it is different than that. I'll say it like that. I think the other thing can do wonderful things, but I don't think in this, now that we've gotten this information, that's not quite as bad as was originally told that it was, or thought that it was. Now, I'm not saying that there's not better ways to do this in the future, but from what I hear, it looks to me like you're gonna have a hard time changing that right now.
Yeah. Well, initially, I thought the Butler-Fairman contract was costing us $29,000 a year.
And,
But I stand corrected on that.
that's where I think I was confused. I thought that's what I had known too. So basically it's 15,000 a year. So.
The only thing we noticed though, is with the Pacer, it's not really an accurate it hasn't been done well. We haven't felt that it's been, when we looked at for our crossings, you know, to look at the ratings.
I believe we found out with our meeting on Thursday, there was an issue with the map that you had. We've already updated that map to current ratings, and we emailed you one, and then I'm gonna pick up a larger map today from one of our IT guys that I will bring out tomorrow for you, Dale.
Okay.
Okay, for you to look at.
And we
But
did-
other than that, I don't know if any, I mean, I haven't heard any complaints and any reason. I don't think anybody from our office has, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I mean, you know, if the client's not happy, we're not doing our job. So we want to make sure that everyone's happy.
And we did do more chip and seal this year, so I guess maybe we'll have a little, maybe if that'll come through to help anymore, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever you work to
That
do
is up
this year is going to be on
8 or 10
ratings.
miles over what it was in the past, so. Now there's still almost 400 miles of road, so.
We're all ready to go. I mean, and I know I don't want to rush you, but I mean, if I could leave today with an assigned agreement so that we could get started, or I could get started, that would be wonderful. Because I still have other clients that I gotta get done this year too.
So you still utilize the old way of the naked eye, get out and rate roads, you know?
That's what every 95% do. And, you know, having some human involvement in it is also good. Because you can use some judgment on your ratings.
Well, Bruce, we could use that updated map as soon as possible
I'll have
because
it for you tomorrow.
I would like to get our stuff turned in the first week of October for 2026. Because I don't wanna, I know the competition is gonna be much stiffer for next year, and I hope
Right.
we can stay in the running. We've fully advantaged the CCMG program since its inception.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
And otherwise, we wouldn't have had near the work done that we've got done.
Yeah.
I would feel much safer about this situation if we go ahead and continue or renew this contract with Butler Fairman right now, and then deal with the Violytics thing as we see fit in the future. Because if you don't have all this stuff in place, up and running, and know what to do with it once you've got it, you can't. I wouldn't know where to start with it.
What are the counties doing that have this program? How are they doing in taking care of, I'm asking you, Derek?
The asset management plan is exactly what he's talking about. You have to get that turned in by December 1st. They have already started driving their roads, their counties. We've got an updated list that more than 20 counties have already got established. I can't tell you how many countless cities have already started using the programs. And they would drive those, they have all their PASER ratings from that. They still then have to create that report to send to LTAP. That piece of it's not different. The only difference is having an individual go out and review the roads as opposed to just driving them and then receiving a report. Violytics has been certified, to my knowledge, has been certified by LTAP saying it is a credible source to be able to do that. They still have to have a 10% to be reviewed and checked by a person that is also certified. I'm sorry, Bob, is it?
Bruce.
Bruce. Like Bruce, I've also received my certification so that we could review that data and do that. Bruce could review the data and check to see that that is, the 10% is the same. He could still create the report. It's just coming from Violytics as opposed to someone from his office driving it and creating that the Pazer rating itself. That's really the only difference with that piece of it. The other portion of it, Violetics does so much more than just the Pazers. Now, you have it more than just one driving. You can drive it multiple times per year. You can have it as many times as you want to drive it, every week if you so wish, and you'll have an update back. Your map will continually be updated as every time you drive it. That the other portion of what Violetics does, and that's where I think we're talking almost two different things, is because then you go into the workforce management system, which then, as Chris is a busy guy and doesn't have an assistant, so it makes it hard when he receives a complaint, that if he has that workforce thing, he can submit a request to another person in his office. They can then go out, make that change, update the report, sends it back to him without, and they can just take a picture of it and send it back to him. It then shows him that it's been completed. That saves him from time for having to drive out, make sure that person gets it done, come back. It can save a lot more effort in that sense. So there's more to it than just a Pazer rating or getting that report completed, because there will be that report will be needed. So you're kind of looking almost at two different things, although one of them contributes to it, but you're still going to have to create that report. So yes, your application is due come April or October 1st, but your ultimate report to LTAP isn't due until December 1st. So there's two different time periods there that you're going to be doing. But you do want to be competitive, because $100 million is not going to go very far. That's going to be the tough thing, because you've got 200 and some municipalities and 92 counties vying for $100 million. So if you guys get anything, you're going to get very small amounts, I believe. But I think you'd agree with me in that sense that it's going to be very tough to get. So you're really looking at two different things.
And this would be something I would think that would be, with Bill's involvement as surveyor in all this, he would be another piece to getting the work and the report. Basically, like he's already doing, I could see him being a help with getting what we need done. Because you get more than one, right? Ability to go around and drive roads. So it wouldn't be all on one department to do that work. So I was just thinking of the change and when and if we were to do something like that, how it would be managed. Wouldn't necessarily mean more work on just one person.
And I will tell you, I mean, our company itself has already been in communications with a company out of Michigan to do exactly what he's talking about. I mean, I'm not here to say there's anything wrong with it. There's probably really a lot good with it. But we're in a situation right now that we need to get your roads rated and get everything put together and get it done, and then you can decide however you want to move on from there. We're not kicking and screaming.
Right.
We're just saying, let us just get it done for you, and then we can move on.
So did I understand it right earlier? Then you have to have a new road rating for the submission that we're looking at in October, or is it that you're utilizing one that we already have?
No, this is a new.
You're going to have a new one for
Yes,
this?
because last year was an off year, so we just
Okay.
updated. So I need all my ratings to say 2025.
Sounds like we're kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's kind of a sticky wicket, for sure. Now, Derek, refresh my memory. Wasn't the annual service charge for Violetics about $32,000 a year?
Right around that number, yes.
Okay.
It's usually a 3-year agreement, because you're going to spread out the cost of the equipment to those 3 years. So it'd be a little bit more if it's on a 1-year basis, that you'll pay for all the equipment up front, and then so it'd be 1 year would be more than what it would be for 3. But
Okay.
you guys would own the equipment, you own all the data, and you have access to all that stuff. And, I mean, like I said, Pazer's just one portion of what you're actually getting.
Right.
So there's much more to it than just the Pazer part.
Yeah.
Everything they're doing is what you're gonna need to be doing, and I'm not saying that you don't utilize them, you can still utilize them, you just give them the data instead of having them drive it, they can go create the report for you. They're very good at that, so I'm not saying that their data is wrong, I'm just saying that that's just another piece of it that you wouldn't have to necessarily pay for in that sense, because you're gonna use it for that, plus a bunch of other things.
Yeah, well, the dollars and cents wise, Vitalytics is basically twice what we pay Butler Fairman on an annual basis, but they do a whole lot other stuff besides pacer rating. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, I mean, what's it cost to do the PASER rating per year? And then you look at the value of what all it can happen with what your Vitalytics is doing, and you can have, I mean, I can't put an exact number to it, but I would think that the value would be greater, but you're still gonna need either someone, either certified like me or like Bruce, to review that data no matter what. So there will need to be an agreement with any company that can do those things, unless you send Chris or Bill to be certified that they can do your 10% stuff. That's just part of that. And the report, I know that they're working on with LTAP, eventually it's going to be such that the information you pull from Vitalytics, you can submit directly to LTAP that will have their reports already in it. So until that happens though, right now you have to manually extract the data and then put it in the LTAP report, the Excel spreadsheet, then send it. So there's still a portion of that that you have to do until that happens.
I'll move we accept the contract from Butler Fairman for the phaser project. Am I saying that right?
Well. Okay.
Okay. Based on the need we have, I'll second that,
Okay.
but kind of makes me wonder what next year looks like.
We have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to renew our 2-year contract with Butler, Fairman, and Seifert for the PACER rating service. Any further question? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Now, Bill, do you still have that signature page that you had last meeting?
Yep.
Bring it up here and let's let Bruce go home with this so that we can get going. So,
Yeah, if I don't go home, I'm not gonna let me in the
Forwarded
board.
yours, but he is not handling contracts per statute.
I think you only need to sign it,
Okay.
Dale.
So we might need to wait on that then, huh?
I'm not saying you need to wait on it, but I'm saying this is not how it's to be done. And I've sent that email 3 different times over the last year.
Yeah, should have had this presented to the auditor's office. Contract review. That would have helped me today, for sure. So did you hear that, Bill?
Do it.
When you have a contract,
Oh, I mailed it to you guys 3 weeks ago. I mailed it to Jeff.
well,
You
before
didn't
you,
send it to me.
Oh, you needed
Right.
to?
Well, the
Yeah.
statute is
Oh.
supposed to start with my office.
yeah.
If you
Is
send
it-
it to
Jeff had
Jane,
to review it.
effectively, if you send it to Jane, you covered your base, just your
Yeah.
being covered.
Then
You
it
send
would
it to
be-
Jane only. She'll let her make her responsible for reimbursement.
Right.
There's an Indiana code that's out there that you, yeah.
what will be the effective date on this?
Of the contract?
Yeah.
Will be immediately, probably, immediately.
Today,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the map thing, I was thinking about that map thing you said. The reason why the PACER may have not been accurate was something to do with the map not being updated.
well, I think that's what Dale's complaint was, that the map that you saw Thursday and that Chris saw, and you said that some of the PASER ratings were wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all been changed and we've updated it for the work that's been done this year. So you should have a map that's updated to today. So all that work that you gave me, Chris, I've already put in, all the CCMG projects are in there and updated. So when you see it, like I said, it's gonna be up to date to real time.
Yeah, well, when I see it,
And that's tomorrow.
it'll be obvious if everything's in there. Now, Bill, will you make sure that Jane gets?
Oh,
a
yeah,
copy of that?
definitely.
A signed copy?
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bruce. And Derek. Appreciate all your input on this. Somebody must have left. Mr. County Attorney, do you have anything?
No, I do have that letter typed up though, so if you want afterwards, I'll read it to you and you can give me the okay.
Okay. Before we get to mail on old business and new business, we won't let these people off the hook that's been waiting here. Kenny, you was first on the list. Got a letter here from the Everton Regional Sewer District, and they have the Everton Regional Sewer Board members, Kenny Wysite, Larry Wysong, and Richard Kidd are up for reappointment. At our meeting on August 19th, 2025, the board voted unanimously to request that these three board members be reappointed for a 4-year term effective September 29, 2025 and ending December 31, 2029. Mr. Wysite is here today to answer any questions that anyone may have about these appointments. Kenny, you've been on that board for a long time. Is that something you just can't get enough of?
It's slowly winding down.
Yeah.
It's a community service thing. And it is what it is. We've got a good board, proactive board, and they stay on top of everything. And if you got any questions, I'll answer any questions you have. If you don't, we never come and ask for money. You know, we handle our own finances and stuff like that, so. But it's a county entity.
I'll move to accept the three individuals.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to accept the recommendation of the Everton Regional Sewer Board and reappoint Kenneth Wysite, Larry Wysong, and Richard Kidd to an additional 4-year term ending December 31, 2029. Is there any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. You want a copy of that?
I have one.
You got one?
I even brought it, look.
Okay. That takes care of you, Kenny.
Did you have something else, Ken?
No, I was just gonna make a comment that we will, the county council will be approving a new board member. That's their pick, and could be a good board member in that, so that will take care of all our board members, 7 board members, you know. Gotta have a quorum for everything, so that's one of the reasons why we carry 7.
That's good.
Okay, well, thanks, Kenny, for everything you do down there. We also have, this is Linda Fitzgerald here on behalf of Healthy Fayette County. Linda, would you like to address this board?
I would. Sorry, takes me a while. Jeff?
My pleasure.
Healthy Fayette County was launched in 2022 with several workshops because we were concerned about the health and wellness of the community. For a number of years, we have rested in the bottom of 92 counties in terms of health outcomes and health factors. We historically run 90 and 91st out of 92 counties. Our major issues are adult smoking, obesity, heart disease, and then mental health. But mental health more in terms of our satisfaction with life in general. So it's more emotional health issues. So Healthy Fayette County said, we need to do something about it. It's taken us a few years to get to the point where we are now. In fact, we just had our first board meeting today, and Brad was there, because we will be launching an application for our 501c3 nonprofit status, which we hope to get before a year passes. One of the things that we looked at is what can we do and how do we do it to help the community as a whole tackle our health and wellness. One of the things that we know is that people want to live, work, and play where people are caring about their health and wellness, and they're doing things to be healthy and well, and they're tackling and finding reasonable solutions to do so. So it does have an impact on our economic vitality because industry and new business will look at health and wellness as a piece of decisions to locate in a community. What I have given you is the Blue Zones information. Blue Zones is an international project right now focused on the United States, and they are a proven model that helps people live longer, better lives by reshaping the places they live, work, and play. They have, everything is data-based. They can actually show us what they have done in the 70-plus communities that they're working. They work first in Albert Lea, Minnesota. Albert Lea, Minnesota raised their health rankings 20 points in 12 months. They use research-backed strategies to reduce chronic disease, improve mental health, boost civic engagement, build community pride, create healthier policies, spaces, and habits. On October the 9th of this year, we will be bringing Margaret Brown. She is Vice President of Business Development for Blue Zones. She will be here. She will arrive on the 8th of October. On the 9th, from 8:30 to 10:30, she will do a workshop at the Roberts Building in Roberts Park for key stakeholders and community leadership. Then that evening from 6:30 to 8 o'clock at the middle school auditorium, she will do a presentation for the community at large, and that will include music by the middle school choral department, because when you involve the kids, the adults want to come as well. What we're looking at doing is funding phase 1 of the Blue Zones Ignite process, and they will actually come and spend 8 to 9 months in the community performing a structured exploration of the community at large. They will actually drive the entire county and talk with people, and then they will collaborate with the community to develop a plan for change. We have been talking with them now for several months. We're impressed with what they present and the opportunities. So please be looking for an invitation to arrive both to your email and an actual postcard size invitation. So we'll look forward to, we're excited about bringing Margaret. And we're excited about Blue Zones because they have done tremendous things. I will take just a few seconds to tell you how Blue Zones came about. Dan Boutner was a researcher for National Geographic, and he became fascinated by the fact that there were 5 locations on the planet where people lived to be 100 and were healthy and well. Most of those places, 4 of them, are around the world. One of them is in California. It's a Seventh-day Adventist community, Loma Linda, and he's looked at 9 aspects of those communities that they all shared in common, and he calls it the Power 9. And so it's what those people do that have made their longevity. I said this to someone recently, and she's of my particular vintage, which is the 80s, and she said, oh, I don't want to live to be 100. I said, if you could be healthy and well and garden and still enjoy your friends, would you live to be 100? And she said, oh, yes. And that's the difference. The Blue Zones folks do all of those things, live to be 100, and are healthy and well. So let's see if we can do it for Fayette County. Thank you. Oh, any questions? How's that for running right through it?
I don't know. I don't think I'll live to be 100 years old, Linda, but it is possible for people that do what's necessary along the way to.
I think the whole thing for us is not, it's longevity, but it's being healthy and well and content. And so since Healthy Fayette County launched, I see more people walking along Park Road, and that thrills me because walking is one of the easiest exercises, even those of us with a mobility device. So, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Clara Judd is here on behalf of the Eastern Indiana Regional Planning Commission. Clara?
Hi. I'm here because currently we're working on a EPA brownfield grant with a company called CHA. We're trying to form a coalition of at least 3 groups from the 6 counties we work with. That way we have a better chance of getting this EPA grant. I know we have some counties that are in our commission that have applied in the past and have not received it because they didn't feel like it benefited the region. And we're thinking if we apply for this grant as the 6 counties, which are Fayette, Henry, Wayne, Randolph, Union, and Rush, we have a better chance of getting it. We currently already have 2 counties that have projects that they are talking with their commission about to make sure that they're on board with going through with it. So I'm here today to ask if you guys would also like to be a part of this. The best part is you don't pay for it. It is coming, like any payment that needs to be made is coming from IRBC. I know I've already talked to some of our board members, and there are some locations that they're thinking about, but they have like nothing nailed down and they haven't really discussed it like too far. But I just wanted to come and get your stamp of approval before we actually went further.
Well, as you and I talked this morning about this, I'm just not aware of anything out in the county that we could turn into anything. But
well, for the grant itself, it's just to do like the first initial assessment, like the first phase. So that is what it is, just to get that out of the way for any projects going forward. And so they can get that done essentially for free and then continue on with the other project they have.
so you want us to declare as a willing participant?
I would love that.
Okay.
And the participant, what would be the official, we're calling the participation an EPA grant, is that what you said?
Yeah, so it is a EPA brownfield assessment grant. You will be one of the coalition partners. Really, it's just using you as a title. Like ERC will still be doing all of, like handling the grant. We'll just be working with you and gathering information about the properties. They just need to have a face to work with when it comes to the counties within the coalition.
And that would be your face, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just have to know I'm working with.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I would move to approve this EPA grant Brownsfield assessment with Miss Julie, or not Julie, sorry.
It's okay.
Claire.
Get that a lot.
Got it. What kind of stuff are you looking for in the county?
Right now, their big thing is something with a good story. So it could be a historical site, something that could have been an old gas station. I was just on a meeting with them last week, and they mentioned a property that had gas tanks that were still buried and stuff like that. Their big one that they always go with is old schools, or they had a project where someone had an old theater in town that needed to be assessed, and then they were trying to rebuild and vamp it up. So anything. It could also be someone's property, like if the county at some point thinks that they're wanting to purchase a property and they want to get it tested first beforehand, we can talk to the owner of that property and see if we can get the testing done first, or anything like that.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. We've got a motion by Tracy, second by Dale. To, how you want us to word this, Clara?
Be a coalition partner.
Okay, for Fayette County to be a coalition partner in the EPA brownfields.
Assessment grant.
Assessment grant.
That's what I said.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
And I know later I will just need to have something signed, but they haven't gotten that to me yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any further question? All in favor?
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. I
Thank
hope
you.
this goes somewhere, Clara.
I do too. I really hope it does. I know we've talked to Wayne County, and they have multiple locations that they're like, we have projects ready, all we need is something like this to get the ball rolling. Union County has a property, we're still waiting to hear from Rush, but I'm excited. I really hope it does go somewhere.
Okay. Well, thank you very
That's
much.
good. Thank you.
Brad Coulter, did you have anything you wanted to talk to us about today?
I do.
Okay.
I'll try to make it quick. I had a whole list of stuff I was gonna brag about, but I'll narrow it down to one.
Okay.
And just to reiterate what Claire was saying, I think that grant is probably our best chance to have funds available to do assessments as things come up. You know, in the future, there could be other sites that we don't know about today that might be a question about, and this would be a good way to fund something in the future that we're not even thinking about today. So the one thing I wanted to talk to you about, I recently became aware of a funding source for economic development that we haven't been utilizing. And it might be a good answer to the county and the city's funding situation. And I've already spoken to Jeff about this. He's looking into the Indiana code that applies to this. But when we give tax abatements, I know the county, does the county presently have any tax abatements active, Jane?
Yes.
Yes.
So when we give tax abatements at the city or the county, you can put a fee on those abatements, which would basically, if you gave somebody, let's say, a $20,000 abatement, you could charge a fee to the industry of that tax that's abated that would go to help fund your economic development department. And a lot of counties are utilizing this in other places, not a lot, but some are utilizing this, and I think it might be an answer for us in the future. And I kind of wanted to dig into it further, but I wanted to run it by you all and see if you thought it was a good project to spend a little time on before we get started on it. But I think Indiana code says you can charge up to 15% of the abated amount, but you don't have to. And each time that you did an abatement, you could determine what that appropriate amount was you know, if you do a $100 million abatement for somebody, you don't want to charge them 15% of that. But maybe you would charge them 0.5% or something. But the fee that you would charge would be based on the abatement, and you could determine that at the time that you okayed the abatement.
It's just kind of another piece of the abatement negotiation process.
Yeah. So, no.
Okay, so at the time of awarding an abatement, that is carved out as a share.
Sure. And a lot of times, I mean, you can sell these to these, especially the bigger companies, you can sell this to them pretty easily because they're going to want that going on anyway. They're going to want EDG having funds and being able to use it in the community and that kind of thing. I had never heard of it prior to Brad telling me about it, but once Brad did, I looked into it. It's a pretty valid tool, and I think it could do some cool things.
Like I'm looking at a financial compliance for an easy too. Is it the same thing?
I think that might be the exact same thing, yes.
I don't have it with me, what Indiana code applies to this, but I mainly just kind of wanted to get the nod from you that you were interested in looking into it further. I don't know if it would require an ordinance or a resolution or what.
I mean,
Exactly.
and I'll look into it further, but as of right now, I think it's just another arm of the abatement, that it's just a contractual term of the abatement. You know, a lot of times we'll have conditions on the abatements that they have to follow and those kind of things. This is just another condition of that. And like he said, if you're charging somebody 15%, they're probably still pretty happy. But a lot of these won't approach that 15%. They'll be more like 1% or 2%. If somebody's getting a significant abatement, adding 1% or 2% is not going to change them, but it's a really good tool for us to use in the community. I know you guys have always been pretty big supporters of EDG.
It could help provide another source of funding that might help make up, you know.
That's for sure, and I did not know we had that option. I didn't know that piece of legislation existed.
Neither is that.
So,
I'm happy you found it.
yeah. That would certainly, it should take some of the argument out of EDG funding in the future.
I wish we had known about it before the recent huge abatements that were given to Nova Chemicals.
Yeah.
And that's what I was kind of thinking. Their company, to me, would have been very excited about that. They would. I don't think they would have fought back too many. You know, 0.5% or 1%, which is significant.
I've been talking to some of the places where they have implemented this and they never get any. They don't get any pushback from companies. I mean, people are so happy to get a 99.5% abatement that the 0.5% doesn't make them mad.
Right.
So if it's okay with you guys, we'll dig into it, see what, you know, official action may or may not need to be taken.
And I'll look and see if we have to pass an ordinance to just allow us to even negotiate it in. We'll do that, or I mean, you guys can review that and do that, or if not, we may just be able to do it at the next abatement process. And I think those start with Jaleesa, correct? Does she go?
Yeah.
Does she kind of
She
start
works with
that
us on
when
the
somebody
abatements.
applies for the abatements? It kind of starts with her.
She's the first stop, and I
Right.
think.
And then she's kind of the enforcement arm of that, kind of on some level, in the fact that she's reviewing and giving you guys guidance on whether or not they're complying. Do I have that correct? I feel like I've read reports before where she said, hey, they've got the appropriate number of employees, and they're not having any issues or anything like that, right?
Yeah, the regular abatements, she does all
So
that.
we might get with her one day and sit down.
Of course, we can't go back and renegotiate abatements that have already been granted, but we do have one that, we do have one or two that are kind of sitting on the table right now. I'm not sure if you guys, did you guys do one for a possible second round for anybody? Did you take action?
I've been informed of a possible second round
Okay.
for one.
But nothing official?
No, nothing's come.
So I would imagine we could, if we had it in place, we could plug that in to that. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the amount was, but it was substantial.
Yeah.
We won't say anymore because it's not known.
Okay.
it's a top secret still. The other thing I wanted to tell you about quickly is that I want to invite all of you on September 22nd at 1:30 at the Miller Building. We've been working on a project for the last 3 or 4 months with Duke Energy, where we have made a local building site. Basically, it's sort of a project where we give it pre-approval, that the utilities are in place, that we sort of have a plan of how, if a company wanted to locate on this site, that it would be feasible, and we kind of put a pre-approval stamp on that, and it's in partnership with Duke, and they're going to come. We've been working with them pretty heavily over the last 2 months, and they're going to come do a presentation to locally of a ready site with their stamp of approval on it. It's kind of a big deal. It's been a really good learning. I think I told you a little bit about it, but it was a good learning experience for us because it put us in a relationship with site selectors, and now we know when companies are avidly looking at you what kind of things you have to put in place to be competitive. So anyway, on the 22nd, I hope some of you can make it for that. It's about an hour long thing, and it should be, I think it's a very informative, educational event. Anybody have any questions for me? Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad. We have a settlement agreement to take care of today for Norris, Choplin, and Schroeder. Tracy, you sat in on that. You want to inform us on that?
Well, I mean, we said it, we get the best that we could get, I think, it was Zach and I, and we agreed upon, Zach, was it 5,000 for settlement.
Okay. Do we have anything official, Jane, to sign off on this today or not? No.
We've already signed all the paperwork, you just need to approve the settlement and then we'll write a check.
Okay.
I can move to approve the settlement for 5,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale, to approve the settlement agreement for Norris, Choplin, and Schroeder. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Okay. Now, back to mail. You got any mail you need to share? Got any old business?
Do we also need to go over that, we're gonna have to do the the new opioid settlement? Did we do that action on that we've gotten an email on? So that we could,
The most recent one, I think they have not sent the paperwork yet. I think it was just a heads up that they were going to.
it's just a heads up on it.
That's a new settlement,
Okay,
if I
I thought
understand
you,
it right.
yeah, I thought you emailed, so we needed to take action. Well, I see the date, we have until October 8th, so we're good. We got time.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Under old business, we had some discussion about this before, but we've got some bids here for some work to do up at Man Love Park involving the clearing of the 10 or 11 acres for sediment storage. And we've got four quotes or 4 bids from 4 different contractors here. Got one from Sweets Land Clearing and Forestry, KW Earthworks, Sasser Excavation and Drainage, and Friendly Contracting.
Friendly is just bid number 2, right?
Right. That's, on his page, it would be bid number 2. So knowing what we know of these bids, what do you want to do with these?
Is this still pending the DNR permit? Is this the same one?
No, there's no permit required for this, this section of the work.
I move we accept bid number 2 from Friendly Contracting. $17,400.
Can you read all the names and dollar amounts for the minutes?
Okay. This is for the clearing and preparation of a 10-acre area in Manlow Park for sediment storage. Got a bid here from Sweets Land Clearing and Forestry for $35,722.30. One from KW Earthworks for $45,000 even. One from Sasser Excavation and Drainage for $50,600. And one from Friendly Contracting for $17,400.
So you already gave the motion, Chuck? I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to accept and approve the bid from Friendly Contracting for $17,400. Any further questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. And I'll inform the bidders how this come out, make sure they see it all now.
How soon is he able to get to that project? Is he's the Friendly Contracting, does he have a certain time he's gonna start on it, or?
He indicated it would be right away.
That's good.
I know you reviewed, I still didn't catch one of them.
Okay. Is there anything else in our old business or new business? Does anyone have, is there any patron concerns in the room today?
Here's one.
You, sir. Come on up.
Well, as you know, my house got hit again Sunday evening. Are they going to put the rumble strips back in?
I would think so. Bill, in case you didn't know, we had those rumble strips cut into Ziegler Road some time back. We just paved that thing now. They just have paved it, they're not done there. And a couple of days after they paved, wasn't it, Donald?
Yeah.
A couple of days
Sunday
after they
evening.
paved it, somebody came through there and went through the intersection and hit his house again. How many times has this happened?
15. We've had 15
times.
different incidents.
15?
School bus flipped over the telephone pole. My sign's been knocked down 3 times. My landscaping's been tore up twice.
Are they
I mean, it's
gonna
getting kind of
stop
old,
by?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I can't use the east side of my house now. Nobody will sleep in those bedrooms.
Yeah.
Is it like a T?
Yeah,
Have you looked into one of those stop signs that?
You need a
there's 3 of them,
difference.
Yeah, we've already.
Yeah, but one of those ones that light up.
3 of them,
There's 3 of those
Three.
light up stop signs?
yeah,
There's 3 of them?
yeah.
Now, do you think the rumble strips helped you?
Well, it took them out and I had trouble, you know.
Yeah.
Never had any trouble up until they were gone.
Okay.
How long were they in? A couple of years, 3 years?
Yeah, at least that.
Did they cut them in? They cut them in.
Yeah, they
Who did
cut 'em
those?
in.
Jay have somebody do those?
Jay did,
No.
didn't he?
We hired a guy to do that.
They might have hired somebody else. That's probably not in the contract, I guess.
Now, I don't recall if there was anything in our community crossings language to replace them when we
Yeah, I don't know.
when we decided to repave Ziegler Road.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we need to do something on that score.
Can I ask, why did you guys repave it? There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, why was it done? I mean,
It-
everybody was at my house that night, couldn't understand why it was even done. None of the cops, nobody. And,
Did you travel it often?
oh yeah,
Then,
yeah.
every few feet there's these cracks in the road.
I didn't notice the cracks, it's just awful smooth to me. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
But,
Well,
thing I'm worried about more than anything right now, and what irritated is that my insurance man told me I may get dropped if I turn this in because the guy who hit my house was from Honduras. He had no insurance, no driver's license, no nothing. And he had told me it's declared a dangerous intersection, I guess. And you guys, the old board did that when they decided to start doing all the renovations to it. And, I may get my insurance dropped. And I've got a lot of insurance.
What is your address?
409 South Gray Road. But there's no policing to the road. I told the cop the other night, sat in my driveway, you can make $5,000 for the county in 15 minutes. When the kids leave school, all you gotta do is just sit right there. We had a nice drag race. It was either Thursday or Friday. They line up at the bottom of the hill and drag race up the hill. And unfortunately, my camera in front of my house won't pick it up.
Is there any guardrails or anything like that?
No, we're gonna put guardrails in at my house, but there's too many, there's power lines and telephone lines and cable. My whole front yard was nothing but flags.
Do you have any other remedies besides rumble strips? Law enforcement attention?
By my property.
Well, you probably
Hey.
should have sold it before you got on camera and saying it's not gonna be insurable.
Well, you guys can do whatever you want to. Make a
Well, I'm just
duff out
saying,
of it. I don't care what you do with it.
They tend to listen to recommendations if you live there and you see anything you think could help.
Well, what I wanna know is, are you guys interested in paying for my damage this time? I mean, I've had several people tell me the county will pick up my damage. I mean, the county made my property like it is. I didn't. The house was there before the road. And it's treated like I call it the Audubon. And if you guys think I'm kidding, come out and sit on my front porch. I'll give you sandwiches and pop, and you can sit there and watch all day long. They get down to the, right to return on ranch, and then they pick it up. They go by my house running 60, 70 miles an hour.
To the T, or you're talking about the other road?
But both roads, it doesn't make any difference. We had a nice collision there between a livestock trailer and a truck and another van. And that's what happened there. They just go through their way too fast. I mean, it's really a dangerous place. I mean, if my grandkids would have been out there in the front yard, they would have got wiped out.
It's not a three-way stop at this intersection?
No,
Would that benefit anything?
I would think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
mine.
I know our thoughts on not adding stop signs, but
Well, this particular incident, I know, happened in late afternoon or early evening, and the position of the September sun is just right
Yeah.
in the west. And that's what this driver said. They was completely blinded by the sunlight once they crested the hill. And weren't able to see ahead, to see the stop sign or your house or anything else until they realized they was off the road.
Yeah.
And I know that's especially if you got a dirty windshield, you know, I have the same kind of trouble certain times a day. But I'm certainly in favor of replacing the rumble strips, you know, and before we abandon that work down there this year. So I would hope that since they were there prior to the paving that O'Mara will do that. But I haven't talked to Chad Weitzel, and I don't know if there's been if he's aware of it or not. Do you know, Bill?
No.
I think that would be the first one I'd talk to would be him, and then if that's something that we missed in all the preparation work for this year's projects, we'd still hire someone to come in and redo them, you know. But as far as buying your house, Donald, I don't.
It's a nice place to live.
I know, but I
tell
don't.
you.
I don't think
You can
we
avoid
could
the
use
traffic.
it. Yeah.
Not interested in paying for my damage, huh? I mean, I'm gonna have to. I can't turn in insurance. I can't take a chance on losing my insurance. I got too much. All my machinery and everything is, you know.
Is there any way to hold the person liable that ran into it?
Oh, he's probably already back in Honduras. They didn't speak any English.
Was he driving it for a trucking company or something?
No, he's just driving personal.
Do we know who the vehicle was registered to?
Cops do. I gotta stop and get the accident report. My insurance man wants it in case. He's gonna talk to my insurance company and see how they're gonna act towards this.
Did he have a license?
No, no license.
So I'm guessing he's got a criminal case pending. You could talk to the prosecutors as far as, so he'll have a criminal case pending would be my assumption. You can talk to the prosecutors and have that be a part of the penalty is that you want reimbursement for your damages.
So the insurance company will go after him if they can find him. That's what they did with the other guy that hit my house.
But what I'm saying is that would be one, I would definitely recommend you to talk to the prosecutor fill out a victim's affidavit essentially.
But something needs to be done. I mean, when the school bus flipped over, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. When the girl hit the telephone pole, it was 6 o'clock in the morning and snowing. When the old man hit my house, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, my sign's been knocked down 3 times of a night. That's the reason it's sitting on top of a boulder now.
What's your sign?
My B&D lawn care sign.
Okay.
And it's legal, it's off the road enough. I mean, they go off the road.
And there's not, you know, I'm just trying to think outside the box to make your family feel more comfortable because I can get that. There's not concrete columns, there's nothing like that to stop something if they do miss that?
Well, Civil Liberties lawyer told me that if I put anything along the road, anybody gets killed, then I'm liable for it. I gotta keep it off the, I think it's 15 feet off the property line or something. That's what I did with the rocks and I forget what he told me.
Well, I mean, counties can put up guardrails, so I didn't know if there was something that, you know, the county could do. That's why I'm asking now.
I don't know. But see, this guy came right down my driveway. He didn't go through the yard. My driveway line's right up with the road. And he didn't, there was no skid marks, there's nothing.
So what did he run into?
He actually ran into my landscaping. That's what's actually kept my house from getting totaled. Was he hit the landscaping, then he went airborne and flew between 2 of my cars and hit my deck, which my deck's 60 foot long, and it moved everything back 3 inches. It even tore the steps off at the far end of the deck.
Him hitting it?
Yeah.
Not with the vehicle, but him himself?
Well, I wish it would have been him, but it was the vehicle, yeah. And everything's tied into the house, everything's anchored. So we don't know what kind of damage it did to the house. Or I'm gonna find out as soon as I get the contractors out there. But like I said, the house was there before the road. And, yeah, I mean, it's ruined my property.
The house was there before the road that tees into it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long ago was that put in?
Gee whiz, we've been there 18 years. I guess they were just doing it when when we bought the house. The house was built in 1968, and the new part was built in 87.
Now, they started talking about construction of that road back in the mid-70s. But it, I think it was maybe late 80s or so, I think. You remember, Bill?
It was gonna be a total county project, that's why the whole north end up there was cut in. You know, Jerry had it cut in and everything, it got so expensive, we had to go federal aid. But it was cut in, I mean, because we did a lot of surveying, bring it down to 121, that was probably late 80s. You know, but then it got so expensive, we had to go federal aid, but he got a lot of credit for all that work that was done up there, putting all that gravel and clearing it out along the school property. But, yeah, so that was, yeah, I would say he probably started it in the mid early 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, the late 80s when we got that done. So, well, I think we're committed to making sure that the rumble strips get replaced.
Okay.
Is that a fair assumption?
I think they need to be put in deeper. I don't think they were deep enough.
Yeah. I know that.
I'm just thinking of other things, you know, you can have the road painted stop ahead, you can have a sign saying stop ahead. When you say there are 3 red light stop signs, they're just what, like every?
The first one's probably a quarter mile away.
It says stop ahead?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got stop
Because you're
sign.
kind of going up a hill a little bit.
Okay.
So the first one is down here before you get up,
And it
and then the
says
next
stop.
one's sort of when you top the hill, and then the next one is at the actual intersection.
I guess I've never seen, so it's a lit up stop sign that
They
says
have
stop
the
ahead?
solar panels, and then, yeah, they like flashing red
It
lights
says
all around
stop ahead.
it.
I mean, it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous. I mean, it is.
Well, there's a number of locations around the town and out of the county where houses are sitting right at a T. And I think some of the others have been hit, others not. You know, but you've got such a volume of traffic there at your location that just statistically the likelihood is better for you, you know.
I mean, are there trees along there or anything?
I got a tree in my front yard, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if like a row of, maples sitting right there would be kind of hard to ignore. You're gonna drive right into a woods, it seems like that'd be.
Well, you drive out there and on your way home today and
I
look
might
at
make
it,
I might make you go with me.
you'll understand what it's about.
We can brainstorm it.
We can do that.
Or if you put up those boulders, if somebody, I know, just went to Reed, they've got these real pretty planters, they're crazy if you
I've got
run
2
into
of
one of those.
But you should talk to your insurance provider about that, about options you
They would be
have.
stopped in their tracks.
His concern is he's been told, and it doesn't sound like by a lawyer, and it doesn't even sound like by insurance, but just somebody else has told him that anything he puts in there that is made intentionally to have a vehicle stop, if that caused any type of damage or harm, he could be liable.
Well, a lawyer told me that.
A lawyer told you
Yes,
that?
yes, he did. If I put something along the road,
What would you have us do if we could do anything?
well, I just think you need to put like more signs up, maybe dangerous intersection, and like he said, paint stop on the bottom of the road. I would reduce the speed limit. First thing I do.
What's the speed limit, 30?
40.
That's
Put a cop out there, you know.
He's pretty good about that.
Yeah, I've already sent the text.
I was gonna say,
That'll happen.
I'd have bet that money, he's pretty good about that. This is
Hey,
a really
Frank,
good community
You
for
catch a lot of
to just have that police
speeders
presence,
right
they're really
there,
good
I'd
about it.
say. Station them right there.
I mean, I would say, at least for the road teeing into your property is the issue, correct? I mean, I would say
Well, the issue is,
entertaining lowering that speed limit would be dramatic.
you know, they just treat it like an interstate.
I don't think lowering the speed limit is gonna help, because he'd already said they're running 60, 70 when they go through an airway. So,
Yeah, but they're running 60 and 70 because it's a 40. They're not gonna run 60 or 70 if you put it at 20.
Well, if you
Right,
drive that
that's what they
road, it wouldn't be practical to make it, if you go out there and drive the road we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be practical to make it. I mean, it wouldn't be a road I would think anybody's naturally gonna go 20 on. There's no housing.
We're gonna pay attention, and this guy, an insured and licensed, I'm not speaking English, he's,
Well, I know,
Having a
but
60
if you just had it
40 or
a mile of 20 miles per hour,
you know,
I think if we just have a good old sheriff station
Well,
out there, they catch them.
Yeah, the problem is, we'll catch 20, and then
They'll
you
start
got that
them.
one bad driver. And I drive it all the time, and that sun, you're coming over that hill, it's tough to see. So, more rumble strips would be, I mean, set those things all the way back to the top of the hill just about. That would really help.
make it pretty clear to them that they need to.
And when we put the rumble strips in to begin with, we caught the dickens for that. We had people driving on the
wrong
wrong side of the road to
yeah.
stay away from them. Even school buses was doing that. They hated them so bad.
Well, maybe it would discourage them from taking that road and maybe offset some of the traffic that sounds like it's a problem.
You gotta go drive that.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking what you guys are telling me sounds silly, or what I'm saying, you're like, that sounds silly.
Yeah.
It's a serious problem, and I totally agree with you, I understand it, but I don't know, other than the signage and the rumble strips, what we could do to help you out.
Make a three-way stop.
That would not have prevented
No.
that guy coming up that road going into your house.
Yeah, but it's the north and south drivers are not the ones.
But they go too fast too, you know. You know,
But if the ones hitting your house are the ones coming over the hill though, right? They're not stopping.
yeah. But we had one guy drive through the yard one night, it looked like he avoided a collision because he came in he missed my mailbox and my landscaping, and he came in like this. Then he went around between the house and the tree and went out in the neighbor's yard. Went out that way. So I think he was actually coming from the south going to the north.
I'm just thinking outside, and I haven't been here. I'm gonna go drive it today.
That's the road. And
He
then
was
that's-
issued a citation, so
Okay, I
the
know.
prosecutor's office could, I mean, if
There's
he
no
shows
high
up in court,
Yeah, I know
they
where
could
we're
make
at.
you liable for the
What
damages.
about any
So,
state months?
that's if they show up in court.
No, there was rumble strips like in here.
Yeah.
But he's gonna show up.
It didn't look like any ties to Connersville, so
No,
it wouldn't surprise
he
me.
didn't speak English, so, you know.
So this, I didn't know what that was called, but I'm familiar with this road then, yeah.
So just rumble strips, that's all I can count on right now.
Realistically, yes, I think so. And as far as signage goes, you know what we've done so far. I don't know what else we could do unless we install one of those swinging railroad bells, over top of the road that you see it. There's still a few of them left around. There's got to be some way to get people's attention as they crest that hill. There's an intersection ahead.
Jeff's idea is good. I think putting it on the road would help. Because if you think about it, if the sun's an issue, you're kind of just looking at the road. If you saw, like, it's painted on there.
I don't know, you have to understand, some of this is cost efficient. I don't know what the cost of one of those are, but if you had painted on the bottom of the hill, stop ahead or something on the roadway, that would be something that would catch my attention.
I think it would too, especially if you're in the sun, at least you're looking down at the road, most likely you would see that rather than you aren't looking ahead. I don't know if that would help people.
But
Might
right
be
now, it
something.
sounds like two things you're gonna get. One, you're for sure gonna get their attention to get some rumble strips in, put in not tomorrow, right, but as soon as they can. And then two, you're gonna get, I would assume pretty quickly. You came to the right meeting, you got a sheriff behind you already shooting out orders, so you're gonna get police presence, which a police presence is pretty effective. at least at creating habits for a lot of people. Most of the people that travel it daily probably.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get a lot of semi-traffic, a lot of cement mixers.
But it sounds like your biggest problem are the people speeding and the people not familiar with the road.
Yeah.
And so, people not familiar with the road is going to happen every day. There's not really a remedy that law enforcement, to me, can remedy that. But what they can certainly remedy are the people that think that it's a good place to go. Not to sound ancient, but to go hot rodding,
Yeah.
whatever the cool new term is.
Well, I used to hot rod, but I never ran anybody's house, so.
It's kind of cool to hot rod and avoid people's houses.
Yeah, so.
Did you ever run into anybody's house, Stevie?
No. I got ran off from people's houses, but never ran into one, so.
Wow, 15 times.
Well, they won't pay for my damage, huh?
I can't advise them to do that. I'll take the heat on that, and they know that. They're trying not to, I'll throw myself under the bus. I can't advise them to do that. We start paying for every accident in Fayette County. You can't, it's not, I would argue I mean, you will disagree, but I would argue they've extremely properly tried to advise people they can't control what people do in their vehicles.
Okay. All right.
And you really don't have a true assessment yet of what your damage is.
No, it may not be as bad as I think. What worries me is, like I said, everything's anchored to the house. And it moved everything about 3 inches. I mean, it's a 60-foot deck. I mean, you know, I didn't think it was that bad till Barb went out. She said, hey, the back steps are knocked off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Then we started looking. I haven't crawled underneath her yet myself. I've taken some of the lattice panels off. When I get done with my other work, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to crawl underneath there and look myself. I mean, that's what worries me is damage to the foundation.
yeah, I really wish there was a feasible way to make this problem go away for you. But I don't know how to do that.
A guardrail or something's out of the question?
That's what I
You probably
talked
don't want
about.
a guardrail in your yard, but
I don't care.
yeah, that's something.
And that's what I mentioned, but he said it would be difficult. They've looked at it previously and said that it would be difficult because of the telephone poles and things there, but
I've just seen the flocks.
When they came out flagged, the yard, my yard was just full of flags, different colors.
I mean, you see guardrails all the time at
Those
Tees.
ought to work.
There's some of those poles that, I mean, we got some over at
Yeah,
the
that's what I said.
sheriff's department,
Yeah.
just concrete poles.
Now, I will tell you, we'll have to do some research on some of that, because my concern would be, does that cause some of those vehicles, if they're going that fast, to go airborne, which probably is even more problematic for you.
Well, this guy went airborne.
Without hitting anything, essentially.
Just
Yeah,
hit the
he
curb.
flew right between two of my cars.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, I mean, you knew about it. Donna Sue called you, so you knew about it.
Yeah, I came through there that evening, and while the sheriff's deputy was still there. And that's all I knew for sure about it.
Now, I wish rumble strips would have been just left alone, you know?
Yeah, well, the road had been repaved, and the time to do all the striping and signage and all that road painting, and as well as the rumble stripping, is time to do it is now, before we finish up down there, so we'll stay on that.
Okay, well, that's all I can do.
Yeah. Okay, well, you can come back and see us again anytime.
Well, I'll probably be back in 2-3 years when it happens again. If I'm still alive, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any other patron concerns in the room? All that leaves is claims and payroll.
Move to approve.
Second.
We got a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. That concludes our agenda for today.
Nobody made the move to adjourn yet. Thought you were gonna bang your gavel.
Oh,
Sorry.
Give me a chance.
I
I'll
know, I
second.
didn't, I just,
Second.
sorry.
We made the motion, she seconded it.
I thought you were getting ahead of yourself. I was trying to stop you from getting embarrassed and embarrass myself instead. So there you go.
We have a
No
motion
good
by
deed goes
Tracy,
unpunished.
second by Dale to adjourn.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.